The Dutchman's not the kind of man who keep his thumb jammed in the dam that holds strings in. That's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam's golden in the morning, Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snow. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes, most times she sees her unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes, his coat and cap are patched with love. Margaret's so there. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals and he calls out to them, 'cause he thinks he knows the captain. Till Margaret comes to take him home again, down unforgiving streets that trip him though she holds his arms. Sometimes he thinks he's alone and he calls her name. Margaret, Margaret, let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Windmills whirl the winter in, Margaret winds his muffler tight. They sit in the kitchen. Some tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, calls her name. She makes the bed up singing some old love song. They learned it when the tune was very new. He hums a line or two. They hum together in the night. The Dutchman falls asleep while Margaret blows the candle out. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Margaret, Margaret. the at-home series. That's the Dutchman and Margaret, written by Michael Smith and made famous by the late, great, and wonderful Steve Goodman.